Show Me Your News!
And now, coming through your speakers and into your ears, it's the gaming podcast that you all know and love. It's Show Me Your News!
Your favorite Super Smash Bros. Brawl podcast from 2007 continues to cover the latest in the video game industry at ShowMeYourNews.com. Now, let's join the show. Welcome to Show Me Your News,
the pinnacle for delivering and debating the gaming news that matters the most to you.
Rumor-filled gossip, hardware blunders, or upcoming releases.
If it relates to video games, we want to talk about it.
I am Peter, but you may know me as Youko, and I am getting married in less than a week.
I am Rachel, but you may know me as Eevee, and I am too, funnily enough, think I might be at your wedding.
I am Joe, but you may know me as thedobaga, and what?
I'm Ben. You may know me as GymleaderBen, and I'm dehydrated.
Oh dear.
Oh boy, gotta get those fluids going, get that gaming news pumping in your system.
That's not quite fluid though.
Oh,
Liquid
the gaming
poison.
industry changes every day.
Unless you know your
darling.
IGN and it's like, too much water.
Too much water,
There you go.
exactly. Well, Rachel, welcome to America for real now.
Hi!
You moved last week. You've
I
been here a
did.
week. How's it feel?
Very tiring.
Yeah.
There's been a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's been like 2 days where I've had a chance to really just relax all day.
Yeah, and especially with our wedding planned for
Yeah.
next weekend.
I've been doing a lot of stuff with your mom. I've been doing a lot of stuff with my mom because she's also over for a couple of weeks visit.
Yep.
And it's just, there's still a lot to do, and I've got more to do tomorrow, and Tuesday, and Wednesday, and Thursday, and Friday.
Oh, wow. And we just put in the time here to get out a podcast for you guys here on Show Me Your News because we are part of the SMYN network at ShowMeYourNews.com. Now, today is Sunday, July 19th, 2015. This is episode 183 of the podcast, the last episode where Rachel and I are single people, simply engaged. We'll just be a committed, married couple.
Well,
How
like,
cute.
it's the last week I will have... Oh, hello. I will have the Yates surname. Sorry, he was interrupting me by putting his lips towards mine, and I was like, I am talking here. That's very rude. Okay, thanks.
There you go. But yeah, we'll be introducing you differently next time this
Alright.
show rolls around.
Next time it'll be Rachel Spasia.
Wow,
How about that shit?
that's pretty crazy.
My initials will no longer spell really.
That'll just be for reals.
Yeah.
Joe and Ben, how you doing this week?
We went whole hog on Let's Plays last week, actually.
Nice.
Recording mostly more Final Fantasy 12.
Nice.
But
Captain
also,
Bosch of Dalmasca.
They just joined the party.
Yeah,
I'm
Or
Captain Bosch!
Not Bash, but Balthier and Fran just joined the party. I'm sorry.
yeah, while recording, we have
I love
just met
Fran!
Bob here.
Fran's the best.
Fran's my fucking spirit animal. I love her, and her accent. I just love her accent more than anything else.
We've also recorded some of Sly 2, because that'll be starting right after Sly 1 is done in
Very
the next
nice.
few weeks.
Cool.
Well,
When it comes to recording some Let's Plays, there's going to be a new series which we'll be doing soon.
We'll share more info on that later in the show, though, so that's what they call a tease.
yeah.
Let's get into our first topic, though, and it is a sad one. It happened about a week ago, and gosh, I know we were right in the middle of playing Mario Kart 8 when we heard the news of Satoru Iwata's passing.
Yeah, it was really sad.
President of Nintendo, a longtime programmer, a person who's really an ambassador for games as a whole, and to be the president of a multi-billion-dollar multinational company like Nintendo and still care that much about games and what they can do for people, that really meant a lot in this industry, and it's a big loss for Nintendo. I mean, there had been stories that he hadn't been feeling well. He hadn't really gone to the past 2 E3s because, he'd stayed behind for his health. And, he had slimmed down, which then he even had the concern to think, like, I need to send out an updated me, for the community because my current status does not reflect how my me currently looks. I mean, that was the way he thought. He thought about
He was
the
an amazing
community
guy.
and just amazing in general.
It's just so sad, he was taken from us, unfortunately, by cancer.
Yeah, it's strange. Like, it was reported as a bile duct growth.
But then after looking at, news articles after that, it's, they said basically it was cancer. And, when you look at, how we did presentations and things like that, you just sort of think, did he did he take chemo? Did he not? Because, like, he always seemed to have, like, full head of hair and, eyebrows and everything like that else.
It's tough to say. And, Nintendo, like we've said for years, like, they're very good at keeping their secrets.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like this.
I mean, that's just stuff I wonder. I don't want to pry into his private life.
Of course not.
I mean, this is a point where I'd like to, like, respect his privacy.
Of course.
And just say how sad we feel about him leaving us.
The outpouring on the internet was remarkable, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Joe and Ben, I'm sure you saw plenty of different tributes and pictures on Miiverse, pictures on Twitter, well wishes on different social networks. It was remarkable to see.
Oh, yeah.
I poked around on 4chan. Like within an hour of the news spreading online, if you went to the V board, which is a video game board on 4chan, or one of the video game boards, after a couple seconds it would start playing Smiles and Tears from Earthbound. And oh my gosh.
That's
Just made it so much sadder.
It has to be something like this that happens to make 4chan actually be a place that you'd want to visit.
We have Ben came into my room and he's like, V is just they're really emotional right now. I've never seen those motherfuckers emotional about anything in my entire life.
Yeah.
And then you get someone like Iwata.
I mean, gosh, he started programming Balloon Fight, and if you have not seen our Let's Play of Balloon Fight, we do recommend going to see that on youtube.com/SMYN network.
I think it turned out kind of well.
Yeah, I liked it.
I liked how it turned out. We learned that Rachel's a Balloon Fight fiend.
I
Apparently,
never
yeah,
played
she's
it
a
before.
prodigy.
It was my first day.
Very, very good. Let's see, he programmed that. He had, hand in Earthbound.
Mm-hmm.
He basically, from what I have read, he is the reason Earthbound ever actually even came out. Because I guess the game was just in an unworkable mess of a state when he got to it, and he was like, nah, step the fuck back, I got this. And just reprogrammed the entire game from the ground up, made it work. Iwata's the reason why Earthbound exists.
A lot of different stories like that I think it'd be fitting for us to share. And in case you've missed some of them, to talk about our favorites, Pokemon is another one that he's given credit for, especially Gold and Silver. How they made Johto and they had that all set up, but then the team wanted to have Kanto in there. They couldn't get it to work though because on the cartridge it was just too big. And Iwata, being the programming master he was, compressed all that data down enough to put Kanto, the land from Red and Blue, in there as well as Johto, the new land from Gold and Silver. That's remarkable. Also, stories of Pokemon Stadium, how to make that game turn around and work, he looked at the code, the battle code specifically, from Red and Blue, and was able to synthesize it perfectly into Pokemon Stadium's engine to make that work. I mean, it's remarkable. And
He was a programming badass.
what a programming badass indeed. I mean, just even as an executive too, because taking over for Yamauchi after that era of Nintendo, so around 2002, I think the change was made. I mean,
He was the first non-member that was not a member of the Yamauchi family to take over Nintendo.
Yeah, and that's it's a
100
big
years.
step. A big step indeed, and he was the man in charge of the company that introduced during that time the Nintendo DS and the Nintendo Wii. Two mammoth monster systems that changed gaming as we know it. And yeah, it's tough because you see, that trio that now we had really known Nintendo for, with Iwata, with Miyamoto, with Reggie. And so there's thoughts like, if it was cancer, they had to know that, maybe we should start looking for our replacement in advance. Like, it can't have been too much of a surprise to Nintendo as it was to us.
Yeah.
And I think they did know, because I've seen a lot of people, they came to the realization of, oh, that Muppet thing at E3 was so we wouldn't see how sick Iwata was.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I think, that combined with Miyamoto's love for Muppets and all that, I think that's probably a
The
combo
combination.
deal there.
Yeah.
Iwata's plans, I think, have been kind of laid. Of what they're going to do with NX in general. I think his input has been taken with that. So, people are saying, what's going to happen with Nintendo? I think in the short term, not much is going to change. Because I think they're on their path of what they want to do, progressing with NX next year, and if it is going to be a console handheld sort of combo system, that would be great. But he said that games should be fun for everyone.
Yeah.
And that he was a gamer at his core, whether or not he thought like an executive or he was a programmer by trade or something like that. So they try to think about the gamers at heart, and the one thing that they don't slip up on is they keep making great games. I mean, regardless of how underpowered the system is, or how much they don't use the gamepad, or how under tech that is, the games for Wii U are still great, and that's still going to be the core of what Nintendo is going to be doing. Regardless of their collaboration with DNA and things like this, I think as long as it keeps focusing on the games, I think Iwata's plans have been laid, kind of in place. And now I think almost the question is going to be, do they take the bold step of maybe bringing someone like Reggie into a Japanese company, or are they going to, maybe produce or promote someone who's a little more internal, a little more unknown? I wonder what that next step is going to be for their leadership.
Well, I'm not going to pretend to be like an expert on Japanese business practices, but I feel like I can basically guarantee you that they're not going to put a white guy in charge of their company. A lot of people like to forget that Japan as a whole is xenophobic, sort of. They don't really take kindly to outsiders all that much. To a degree. Like, they're not super racist or anything like that, but they like their space a lot.
It's a proud culture.
And so I don't really foresee Nintendo taking Reggie and saying, like, all right, you're in charge, because I don't feel like that would go over very well. As much as Iwata and Miyamoto got along with Reggie, I don't feel like that would be the move that a Japanese company would take.
Well, of course, it's certainly not going to be Miyamoto. I mean, that's not only is he getting towards the end of his career, he wants to stay in more of a creative aspect, helping some of the smaller developers, and simply he just doesn't have the business mind, which is fine, because you want him to have that kid at heart creative, thinking, which it just goes back to how remarkable Iwata was, that he had the thought process of a gamer, but yet he still had the business acumen to be able to lead that company.
I mean, my first experience of Iwata, as I've said previously on other pieces of media, was, I think it was a direct where he was holding up bananas. Mm-hmm. That was my first experience of actually, watching him do something. And I sort of looked at this man and thought, I don't know why you're holding these, but I think I'm in love with you. And I just admire him for all the different things that he's done. I looked at him as more of, the front face that you would see on these directs. I looked at him more that way. Before the news of him passing away, I had no idea how much of a programmer he was.
Yeah.
Same.
I don't often look into how in depth people do their jobs, or if they do different things. I probably should do that a lot more. Even from the few experiences I saw of him. I mean, especially when he was doing all the fighting sequence with Reggie.
Yeah,
that was my
one.
favorite.
That's a great one. It's a great memory. Yeah.
I loved that one so much. I just thought he was great, and I am so sad that, along with many others, that we'll never get a chance to meet him ever again. I would have had that on my bucket list.
Yeah, goodness, I mean, you mentioned the bananas, and at the same time we were...
Yeah, the day the day the news came out, we were shopping for bananas.
Yeah.
And, you made the impression of him holding up the bananas.
And that's really sad, too, because, that was on the 12th that we all found out when that news broke, but he had passed on the 11th.
Yeah.
And it's just, shows how the secret of the news was. But yeah, our community really owes a lot to him, not just as president of Nintendo, but, getting his start at HAL Laboratory and working with Masahiro Sakurai and, help getting Kirby's Dream Land off the ground, but also developing the prototype that would eventually become Super Smash Brothers together with Masahiro Sakurai.
A story that I really liked hearing, he is a huge part of Melee being the game that it is and coming out at the time that it did, because apparently they needed to get it out at a certain time. They couldn't miss this date, and I guess it was a buggy mess that they were just having the hardest time bug testing it and all that, and debugging it and making sure it was actually ready to be released. And so I guess Iwata said that was his last time as a programmer, It was right before he stepped into a higher. This wasn't before he became president, obviously, but after he became president.
Very close to it, though.
And he stepped in and he helped them basically spearhead the whole process of debugging Melee. And so basically, he is the reason that Melee plays the way it does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, my goodness, just for the Smash Brothers reasons alone, I mean, with what our community was really founded on, that love of Smash Brothers and how Show Me Your News began. But the one story I've shared on our Let's Play, and the one I really liked hearing, was told by Jeff Keighley on Twitter, and how it was done with the reveal of the Wii Remote, and it was at an E3, and it was after the conference that it was revealed at, and Jeff was working for the company he was working with at the time, having an interview with Iwata, and it was done in Japanese, and Iwata was speaking with the translator and all that to really get the key messages across. And then after the interview, Iwata speaks to Jeff Keighley in English, and basically paraphrasing, Jeff, I think that was a great interview. I can tell you have a really big passion for games, so I want to show you something. Because up at that point, the Wii Remote was all about you can point it at things and you can do, swiping motions and all this sort of stuff, whether it was, Red Steel with the sword or Metroid Prime, ducking and, pointing and firing, whatever. But then he shows Jeff turning the Wii Remote on the side. Jeff, recounted that's, maybe where he thought, maybe that's how some games can be played. Maybe it was kind of the hint of what would eventually lead to, the Virtual Console on Wii. And things like that. Just, you could tell the passion in other players and other people who worked in the games industry, and if you're genuine and all that. Just seeing throughout the game industry just how many people had, the best words to say. I mean, it's one thing for the internet to be snarky and all that, but people in the profession and in that industry, really, really respected the hell out of Satoru Iwata, and it's gonna be a significant loss. I think Nintendo will still be fine in the future. Not if that's not knocking, his leadership ability. I think his plans were laid out.
They were prepared for this.
Yeah,
because he'll have known.
And he helped establish a culture there that they'll be honored to carry forward. It has been a tough week for Nintendo, certainly, whether you could see it on their social media channels, or even things like, Bill Trinan, who was going to be attending EVO, but, of course, certain more important things came up, like Iwata's son's funeral. So, yeah, it's hard to wrap up that kind of topic, but, it's something we had to lead with, and, we didn't even want to do, a soapbox or anything like that. You got to wait for the full podcast, timing aside and all that. So
I just really like the way Jim Sterling put it, which was, I think today I'm going to go buy some bananas and I'm going to take a picture with them, because I feel like that's how he'd want to be remembered, as a CEO that had fun.
Yeah. When you care about the passing of a CEO of a company, that means a lot. So thank you, Iwata-san, for really all you did and for making the game industry a better place.
Arigato.
Well, speaking of Iwata's accomplishments with helping with Super Smash Brothers, we're just coming off the heels of the biggest Super Smash Brothers tournament ever. So, Ben, let's talk about it.
Yeah, okay. EVO 2015. Exciting things. Every upset you can think of.
Yeah.
I didn't really watch any of Wii U.
Though I did see Wii U, and we're going to be talking mostly on Melee because it was the biggest Smash Brothers tournament ever, but I don't think you can knock Smash 4 at all. I had a very, very respectable turnout as far as combatants.
Yeah.
And the grand finals were exciting to watch because you had Zero, who has been essentially the king of that game since that E3, not this year obviously, but the last year with the Invitational.
Yeah.
And Zero won that first Super Smash Brothers for Wii U tournament against Hungrybox. And he had dominated Brawl, and he's continued to do so, and he's been dominating Smash Wii U to the point where I think he basically put out a bounty on his own head, I'll pay you $50 if you knock me out of EVO. That confident. And so he was playing Sheik, I think, through most of that tournament. In grand finals, he goes to Diddy Kong. Now, Diddy being the character that everyone really hates because he got nerfed through all those different patches, and Sakurai was seeing Japanese tournaments where so many people were playing Diddy Kong, and so he goes in, plays with Diddy Kong, and he's up 2-0. Zero pulls off this combo, you gotta see it. The really tight spacing, and then combos ending it off with a hoo-ha with Diddy Kong to win. It was remarkable.
Nice.
It was a good match.
It was a very good match. But yeah, Melee, let's get into it. I mean, you said upsets aplenty, and boy, that's the case.
Oh yeah, some people that I wish had made it. We didn't get Amsa.
No.
Didn't get Silent Wolf, which I always like to see Silent Wolf.
Goodness, though, Silent Wolf last year with that match against Axe. The 4 stock
That was
with Pikachu against Fox. That's crazy.
Yeah. But I like it whenever he manages to like break top 12 or whatever. But yeah, all the big names were there. Top 8 we had Armada, we had Hungrybox, Plup, PPMD, Mango, Leffen, Axe, and Chewdad.
Mm-hmm.
I came into Hungrybox versus Armada because I was out shopping before I got in.
That was a fair time to come in, I think. I mean, you had Plup, who made news by sending Mango to losers.
Yeah.
Which that was big, because Mango was the 2-time defending Evo champion. Looking for the 3-vo, as it were. So, Plup starting against PPMD, and that was a tough one, because PPMD had his Marth game pretty much on point for most of that tournament. Though Plup, gotta give a shout out to Samurai Panda, longtime friend of the show, of course, original co-host. My roommates, him and Mashumuro, back in Ann Arbor at University of Michigan. They started up Panda Gaming not too long ago as a sponsor program for Super Smash Bros. Not only did one of their players, Esam, make it into top 8 of Smash Bros. For Wii U, but Plup got very far in this tournament. I think ended up 4th place.
He was 4th place, yeah. If only he'd continued playing as Samus.
And then he forgot to go get his medal.
Yeah, he did.
And apparently, last night, the night before and all that, he had damaged his controller.
Oh, yeah, he spilled beer on it.
Word is by spilling beer on it.
Yeah, he tweeted that he spilled beer on it and
Yeah.
fucked up a motherboard in it.
So, playing all that on a damaged controller, you can't say anything about controller Johns. Like, nobody can say anything about controller
Blame it on
Johns
the
anymore.
controller.
You get 4th place at Evo, coming out of nowhere with a busted controller. So yeah, I mean, Armada and Hungrybox is an interesting place to come in because, Armada seemed to figure that matchup out with Fox and Jigglypuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, sent Hungrybox to losers pretty solidly.
Armada scared
Boring
me
set,
slightly.
though.
How did he scare you?
Because he just showed no emotion or moving anything until right at the end. I could tell it was just because he was concentrating, when he actually moved and smiled and stuff. But before then, I was like, oh my god, he doesn't move. He doesn't change facial expressions. What is he? Is he machine? Or is he man? Nope, he's machine. And then suddenly he, as soon as he won, he was, up and energetic and smiling. I was like, holy shit!
Yeah.
Well, this is interesting for you, Rachel, because, it was your first
Yeah.
tournament, really, for competitive Melee.
Yeah,
watching.
it's my first ever tournament that I've ever watched.
Yeah.
Because I'm normally, I don't normally watch the tournaments for gaming. I'm terrible for it.
What did you think of it, though?
I really enjoyed it. I found that it was definitely better than what I thought it was going to be. I mean, I always thought that it would just be just watch a couple people play Smash and that'll be it. I was like, no, I was quite into watching how skilled these people were, and I was like, wow, I could not play against a single one of these people. I would get fucked.
Yeah, they're on a different level for sure, and the commentary definitely helps.
Oh yeah, well,
think-
I was actually not that bothered about the commentary. I liked watching what was on the screen more. Mm-hmm. I wasn't too fussed about the commentary.
Well, I'll give Toph and Scar props, though.
Well, there we
I mean,
go, guys.
They definitely explain certain things well to those who would be newcomers.
I have nothing against the guys themselves because I don't really know anything about them or anything like that, but, it's just, I was just finally entertained by just watching the games.
Kudos to Axe, though. Pikachu,
Yeah.
who always had a great showing last year, continued to do so this year.
God, I was rooting for Pikachu so much.
Gosh, I know. Bringing Leffen to his final stock in the tournament, and it was very close. But gosh, that Pikachu is always so fun to watch.
Yeah.
I love Axe. Mm-hmm. I'm glad he's still playing Pikachu after 8 years.
After so long, definitely.
It's
But
all
I'm
I
glad.
know.
I'm glad that Axe lost because Axe losing got us the best set of the entire tournament.
It's remarkable. I mean, Plup was playing Sheik against PPMD and Marth. And so I think he even tweeted then, oh, well, I'm going to lose anyway. Might as well switch to Samus.
Yeah.
And I think the commentators threw out the stat that the last time he really used Samus in tournament was when he had beaten Leffen
Yeah.
in tournament with Samus. And I guess it's just something that, Leffen didn't know the matchup. But, God, seeing a Samus in top 8 at Evo
I enjoyed his Samus play.
Not just seeing a Samus, but seeing a Samus wreck Leffen.
Mm-hmm.
Holy
The
shit.
heel, the villain, being dethroned in such a way.
He destroyed Leffen.
Leffen was like the favorite coming in. He'd won the last 3 nationals. So,
Oh my god.
most people
that-
were saying like, oh, well, it's Leffen's tournament to lose.
I still don't think that set, for me personally, I don't think that beats Amsa versus Mango from Apex, because that is still my favorite set ever, because Amsa almost won that. But, damn.
But a Samus. It was crazy. And then, gosh, Chudat made it very close against Mango as well, with the wobbles, and almost bringing it back with, 3 stocks down of wobbles.
Can I just say I love Mango's tattoos? His
could say
tattoos
that.
were very impressive.
You
I
can say
like
that,
those.
sure.
But let's talk about how much of a baby he is. Because he's
Yeah,
a
he
baby.
was not happy when he lost, was he?
Apparently, there were reports of him having thrown his controller when he got off camera. I don't know how true those are. I only saw one tweet about that.
Someone
But I
tweeted
could
at him
totally see
saying,
it.
I saw quite a few tweets, but I saw someone tweet like, hey, I got your controller, let me know if you need it back.
Jeez.
So yeah, he threw his controller when he got off camera, and I'm glad he at least waited till he got off camera.
Yeah.
But still, man,
On the
come
stage, to throw the medal.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that was also fucking stupid.
That was really disrespectful.
I mean, yeah, it's one thing to say, like, I'm used to winning first at EVO, blah, blah, blah. But, like, don't do that.
Yeah, it's just how unappreciative most people feel.
That, and he went and whined on Twitter right after he lost.
Oh, did he?
Responded to. And,
It's just like, I'm sorry I let everyone down. Or, like, this grand final sucks, whatever.
well, like,
So-
the thing that got me was he was like, sometimes the lamos win. It's like, dude, just accept defeat gracefully. You're the one that SD'd twice, all right?
yeah.
By definition, if you lost, you're the worst player.
Exactly.
You can be the better player again if you beat him again next year.
But that's true. That set with Hungry Box was at a point where SDing the first 2 stocks in a decisive game 3. You can't do that.
No.
And he was in a position to win that for sure.
Yeah.
And another thing, like, Smash community, we gotta fucking talk, all right? Look, it's one thing. I know we've had problems in the past with the USA chants. I've never actually seen the big problem with that. I don't think Armada sees the problem with it.
It's been another thing with game splits and knocking other games. Saying, "Oh, Smash Wii U sucks, Melee King, blah blah blah."
But booing the winner of the match,
Yeah, no, that's
fucking serious.
no. I mean, it's
when
kind
they
of weird
get-
because when it was Armada against Hungrybox and people were chanting USA, I was like, I felt really bad because I didn't know Armada was from Sweden, so I was there chanting it as well, thinking, oh, it's the guy from USA, it's winning. And I was like, oh, nope, I'm a fucking idiot.
That's just been a thing for a while. And honestly, I know a lot of people have a problem with that, but like, that's just the kind of chant like, all right, you need to just block that out while you're playing. That's just an environment. And there's nothing harmful about it.
Yeah.
And I
But,
get that,
like-
also the play from Hungry Box against Armada to, kind of stall out and, do what you can to really to survive on Dreamland as Jigglypuff. Yeah, some people don't like the very conservative play of that. But don't boo him. Like, it's what you got to do. If it's successful, that's what...
So yeah, he
Exactly.
even tweeted like, hate me if you want, but I play to win, and it worked, and I won.
You get results.
So,
Exactly.
He got second place at the biggest Smash tournament of all time.
And
I
like,
know,
when
and
they
people
handed him-
were
but the one
booing
that-
him for that.
yeah, the one that really got me is when they handed him his fucking medal, they were booing him.
I was like, why? Are you up here actually playing the game as well as he did? No. Fuck off.
Show some honor to Smash community. I mean, this is the community that, we had 217,000 concurrent viewers, which is an EVO record. Now, I mean, that's to say, Marvel's going on right now as we are recording. Street Fighter is to come tonight. So that very well could be broken. I mean, EVO gets bigger and better every year.
Yeah.
But this is what happened last year as well. I mean, Melee set the record at the time. And
And yet,
it's
fighting
impressive.
game community people still have the gall to call us not a real fighting game.
Well, they're full of shit. So.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, so I think they just could have showed a bit more. I mean, don't get me wrong, I wanted Armada to win as well. But, I wouldn't boo Hungrybox.
Oh, I wanted Armada to win. I wanted Pup to win, but
Oh, I wanted him to win as well, but I could tell
Armada's
he
the
was
next best thing. I wish he would have won playing Peach, but whatever.
Yeah.
Same. I missed his Peach and even his Young Link. That was a wild thing when Armada broke out the Young Link.
But like, fucking guys, that's not a good look. when you boo the winner of the match. That's not a good look.
No, it's not.
You're on the biggest stage. You're on a worldwide view. You can do better. But otherwise, great job to the Smash community. I mean, to put on a showing like that, it was a great top 8. It was a great tournament. Marred by some strange things at the end. I mean, people say like, oh, you don't have everyone show up for the medal ceremony. That's apparently on Plup, who's just not used to placing that high and forgetting.
Yeah,
that
like
there's
at
a
least he
medal ceremony.
tweeted like, "Oh shit, I forgot about it. Fuck."
Yeah.
He's
I
a decent
did
kid.
love all the fighting game community junkies saying like, why did they give the Smash player a golden joystick?
Yeah, I saw
Doesn't
that.
make any sense.
Yeah.
It's like, how's he gonna play with it? Why can't it just be a
I-
golden GameCube controller?
Oh yeah, I was like, really, Evo? You couldn't get like a golden GameCube controller? I'm pretty sure a golden GameCube controller would have been cheaper
Yeah,
than a
probably.
golden joystick.
Yeah.
Much.
There you go. What can you do?
Like, what the fuck's he gonna do with a fight stick? He doesn't play anything that requires one.
You might like some fighting games now.
Street Fighter
maybe.
4.
I mean, like, I guess I didn't realize that that Leffen plays things that aren't melee. He plays Street Fighter 4 too, apparently.
Basically, after Leffen and Mango got knocked out, I was happy with whoever wins. Like, I've never seen Hungrybox win a giant tournament ever.
Yeah.
But Armada's had this coming for like 3 years,
Yeah, absolutely.
and I like to root for Armada. Granted, I mean he does Fox now, so it's a little less, but whatever. I can enjoy Fox play.
Yeah, I think Armada was my favorite out of the top 8. So I was glad to see him win. It was well deserved after his comeback from retirement. If you want to call it that.
I just really wish Axe could have made it further, but oh well.
Gosh, I know.
I got to see some great Axe play. So what was your favorite part of watching Smash Bros. At EVO? Or EVO in general? What was your favorite part of Smash Bros. In general? Let us know with some comments below. With that rhyme, we're on to the next topic.
Yes, I'm going to talk about something fun which is coming up for us, which is the Show Me Your News 8th anniversary.
Yay!
Technically, the date
Well,
for that.
yeah, I mean, that was the 8th of July. That's past,
past.
but, we have a very important event coming up.
Motherfucker getting
We
married!
are getting married this coming
Which
weekend.
we've already talked about for like the past God knows how many months, so let's just keep that one short.
Yeah.
Anyway, so with that going on, we've obviously got people from the Show Me Your News community coming over to stay, and we're going to get together and have a bit of debauchery
Yay.
and fun times and streaming and yay!
Yeah, hopefully that starts on the day that this gets posted.
On Thursday.
Thursday night. That
Thursday
is-
night, and I'm gonna make Joe look pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Joe hates the idea, but
There's
you know
no
what?
consent here.
Don't care. I'm gonna have someone hold you down then, and
That
I
won't
will.
be hard. I'm very light.
Or I could just like sit on your
Both-
chest, use
both
my
Mark
knees to
and
keep
Peter
your head
are
in
bigger
place
than
and
I
do your
am.
makeup.
Both Mark and Peter are bigger than I am. And if you get Scott in the mix, he is as well.
I'm bigger than you are. There.
You
But
are
just not
bigger.
as tall.
Everybody's bigger than I am, alright?
Anyway, so
Because we're not allowed to drink the day before our wedding.
no, I have to be up at like 7 maybe to go for my appointment.
As an
before the
aside,
wedding.
if you get me up at 7, you will not survive.
Oh no, I'm not getting you up at 7. I have to
Good.
go and get my hair done and my makeup done and my nails and all that. All that feminine shit.
Oh. I was just saying, so our bachelor/bachelorette party, because we want to do it like a combo thing,
Yes.
has to be Thursday night. So the 23rd at twitch.tv/SMYN network. We'll have some crazy shenanigans to get up to. We'll be doing some QRT recording, because that's going to be the weekend for the Question Me Roundtable over at the Show Me News Network.
Yes, and we're going to have a little special there. We've done it before. So we'll have some fun doing Never Have I Ever, along with some Truth or Dare.
Ooh.
Ooh, which
Get,
you
get a little risque on
Yeah.
Twitch.
And apparently only us, as the bride and groom, are going to be doing the dares, which is fun.
The
I
Pokemon
thought-
drinking game is probably also going to be afoot. Have you
What
ever-
the fuck is the Pokemon drinking game?
Oh, it's amazing! Have you actually looked? There's a link that we have to it, which we'll probably put in the description of this video.
Sure.
But if you go to the link,
Oh, shit, I've seen this.
Yeah.
Pretty
But
fucking
I've
cool.
seen it.
It's the board game for those people listening and watching the podcast. The board game where you're going around to all the different parts, red and blue. You pick a starter, and you'd have different rules at each space. Oh,
and
yeah.
there's a lot of drinking involved.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of drinking Thursday night.
Whee!
Friday's a lot of gaming. It's got a mixture of, like, you know, trivia games, there's going to be secret games, there's going to be console gaming.
Do we want to go over the whole schedule?
I'm not going to go over in every single bit.
Let's say that at showmeyournews.com, by the time this episode posts, go to the front page of showmeyournews.com, and we will have the full schedule posted at this time.
Yeah.
Because we still have to figure out some small little things here and there. Yeah. I do want to say that the highlight at the end of that day will be PT.
Yes.
Because we do have that on our PlayStation 4.
We are all going to shit our pants.
Right before we get married the next morning.
Awesome, I'm going to have the best dreams.
Yay.
Woo! It's going to be the best.
We're going to try to see if we can live stream our wedding, because we're going to try to do so for Rachel's family and all back home. It won't be on Twitch, though.
No.
So hopefully by that day we'll also have figured out what we're doing as far as live streaming wedding plans. But yeah, hopefully on the front page there with our blog post of our final schedule for streaming, we'll hopefully have where you can go to find our live stream of a wedding. It'll probably be on livestream.com, actually.
Probably, because that's not as used nowadays. But other future plans that we've got coming up now that I'm finally in America, there's going to be some more Let's Plays going on.
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely Let's Plays.
There's
more streaming.
Yes, definitely more streaming. We've already been starting doing some of that. Whether we actually start streaming with the monogamey thing that we created, I'm unsure of, because we seem to be just streaming on SMYN network for the moment.
Yeah, we'll
it seems to be going fine.
See how that develops.
But definitely for some YouTube content, I mentioned this earlier in the show as a little teaser. I might get Peter to elaborate on this a little bit. But I play a game currently, and I enjoy this game very much. And I play it in a lot of different ways. Peter doesn't have a very good view of this game.
Oh, no.
I have quite the aversion to it.
And he's agreed to play it with me for at least a month.
Oh, God.
I love you too. Would you like to tell the people what the game is?
The wife is going to teach the husband World of Warcraft.
Nice.
So that'll be...
I'll pray for you, don't worry.
So you're really tying the knot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Oh, serious business.
Yes.
This committal is for real.
At least it's not RuneScape.
Yeah, well...
That's another fucking...
I'm sorry.
fish.
What?
I said, at least it's not RuneScape.
Yeah, what's wrong with RuneScape?
I've played RuneScape.
So then you've tasted, like, from the Cup of Life, and
I've
you
tasted
didn't
from
like
the Cup
it,
of
or-
Life, and I have, like, 6 level 99s on there, nearly 7, and you know what? He's not ready for that game.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to chop wood.
No, he's not ready to chop wood for hours and
man.
hours and hours on end.
Frickin' baking bread, let me tell you.
Or cooking all my monkfish, basically, that I fished to get to level 99.
Man, when did the nerds get here?
We've always been here, Joe. We stalk you all the time.
Getting full runic. Okay.
God! Full runic? Noob.
Yeah.
We're looking to do a show, though, and like maybe it's just a brand or something like that, called Monogamey, and we've talked about it a little bit before, I think. MONOGAMEY. If you want to go follow that on the Facebook and the Twitters at Monogamey. But it's essentially like the idea of that, you know, a couple that plays together stays together, and so kind of highlighting...
More like competitive and cooperative games.
Well, even if it's like, you know, teaching each other like games that mean a lot to you, that's another part of it too. Just, you know, kind of how you can bring games into a relationship. And of course, you know, it doesn't even have to be a heterosexual one. I mean, just how games bring people together.
Well, yeah, there's that, but then there's also ones where basically we're going to kick each other's butts. Otherwise, it's going to be a very serious channel.
Well, that too.
Yes, we've got to make some laughter.
You have to have some rules.
Exactly.
Whether it's strip rules or...
We can't do strip rules on YouTube.
Yes,
They'll
we
ban us.
can.
They'll
As long
ban
as
us.
it's not naked.
I was say there's editing, black bars.
I am not getting my tits out for YouTube.
You can technically be naked on YouTube as long as it's like a breast, like a mammogram instructional video.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That's basically
I've
the
seen-
only like way.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, it has to be informative. It can't be
Right.
for lulz. Otherwise, we'll get banned. People will flag us, and it won't be any fun.
What if there's appropriate censoring? We got the edits. We can do all that.
You've
Only
heard
if
it
it's
here
like-
first. We've warned him.
Only if it's Darker Eye's face. Oh.
More wolf chop.
Just start putting people's faces on top of our nipples.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your schlong.
Yep. Also, more SMYN soapbox. We got to get our studio back up and running, and
I have one ready to record when I'm there because I decided I don't want to record it here.
good idea.
Whilst I'm not working, I've got loads of free time that I could be doing recording stuff with, so expect to see some stuff from me too.
Yeah. Yeah, so of course, Wedding Plan is going full steam ahead.
Yes.
Make sure to check our website when you're looking at this today on the YouTube episode breakout part. We'll have our full schedule, and it's going to be streaming on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
And by that point, we'll only have 2 days until we get married.
Whoa!
Holy shitballs.
That is crazy. But yeah,
That explains everything.
after that though, we've got more video content coming to us. It's definitely still a year of transition for us here at Show Me Your News, but hopefully it leads to bigger and better things.
So Joe, what news have you got to show us this week about Konami?
Well, they're still having a shit fit about Kojima.
No
and
shit.
I guess they finally just went ahead and dropped all pretense and just removed Kojima's name from the box art of Phantom Pain.
They're really fucking petty.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really, really petty. I mean, there were 2 parts, there were 2 things on the fucking box that linked them to Hideo Kojima. But yet again, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised it is Konami. They are being just little 5-year-olds at this point in the playground, and they can't get their own way without doing something like this because someone shit in their lunchbox.
And they had done this before with the previous, Metal Gear Solid games, whether it was the Legacy Collection. That's even weird. You can't erase history like that.
You
But
can't
yes.
just retroactively say, oh, Hideo Kojima didn't make this game.
Yeah, so to have the Hideo Kojima game taken off the top, to have the Fox logo of Kojima Productions removed, it's ridiculous. And yet, you gotta think the story of what has happened and what has transpired with Konami and Kojima is gotta be so interesting. In a way, almost like what happened with The Last Guardian. That'd be a really interesting story to see as well. Something big must have happened.
We're never going to hear about it. I can guarantee you, because I think Lil Taku put it the best, which is there is no goddamn way that something like this isn't tied up in a million miles of draconian non-disclosure agreements, that Kojima is never allowed to talk about it, and Kojima's employees are never allowed to talk about it.
Well, here's the interesting thing, too. I mean, Kojima could have done a rather scummy thing. Whatever, if it was a power grab, if it could have been something like, oh, the game's taking too long and it's costing too much. We don't know what Kojima's role in this dispute is, and it could have been a scummy thing to do. I mean, I'd like to believe that it's not, because the man's an auteur. He's a genius. But the interesting thing is that Konami comes off looking like the scumbags because they're awful at PR, they're silent at the wrong times, and they keep doing, as you said, petty shit like this.
Exactly. I mean, I actually saw on Twitter, and I really wish I could find it again, someone had photoshopped this again. They'd kept in a Hideo Kojima game, put a picture of Hideo Kojima in at the bottom left, and just basically had Hideo Kojima all over the place, took off Konami. And just Hideo fucking everywhere. It was great, and I really wish I could find that again. I'm going to have to keep looking for that so I can find it, but that's what I want to see. Because the fans know what we want. Fuck you, Konami, basically.
There's the other comic out there of, Konami and Kojima as, kind of little chibi, just blob sort of figures. And they had, their names over their head as, one's Konami, one's Kojima. And Kojima's, showing MGS5, the Phantom Pain, to Konami, and it's like, I made this. Konami's like, you made this? Gives it to Konami, and Kojima walks away. Then Konami's like, I made this.
That's
Yeah.
based off a Nedroid comic.
Yeah. So it applies so perfectly well. And here's the ultimate point I think I want to make with this. And I wanted to make a soapbox about it, but SMYN's coming up soon, and our studio's right now still a mess because of all the moving.
Sorry, my
Microsoft.
suitcase is still in here.
It's fine. It's whatever. But this is the point I wanted to make, though. And we probably mentioned it before, but it is really worth repeating, especially when this story came up and people were still trying to take this stance. Boycotting this game does nothing but hurt Hideo Kojima.
All boycotting this game is going to do is make Konami think they were right.
It's really the wrong approach to take. And I think, true Metal Gear Solid fans to see Kojima's real last magnum opus, true Metal Gear Solid fans are not going to want to miss out on that.
No.
And I think you're being foolish if just to think you're going to try to spite Konami financially. Not this game. Hit Konami in the wallet when they try to make the additional Metal Gear Solid games after this like they think they can without Hideo Kojima.
Or the mobile games.
Boycott those. Give Kojima's last work with this series, the one that he's poured several years of work into, give that its due. It's, in a way, disrespectful not to. Just to think that, my sale that'll show Konami. Show Konami that they're wrong by thinking that they can continue the series without Hideo Kojima. Because let's face it, Konami's pretty much dead in the water after this in terms of console video game production. They'll be fine with the pachinko parlors, they'll be fine with the arcade machines in Japan. But pretty much this is going to be their last big console video game. And they can think they continue because they hire teams from Metal Gear Solid all they want. If they want to continue those games that'll have no soul to them because Hideo Kojima is not behind them, boycott those. Boycotting this one makes zero sense. And I think if you want to do so, well, then you're really not a Metal Gear fan to begin with. And you're being spiteful more to Hideo Kojima and the work he's put in than the company who's been making shitty decisions.
In other news, we should get Hideo Kojima into a Kickstarter or something like that.
I honestly think that might be the next step.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he's going to go to some, big company. I mean...
I hope it goes to work for Platinum Games.
Platinum would be a great one. Absolutely.
He and Kamiya are really tight, so...
And, I mean, gosh, you even wonder, heaven forbid if EA just throws a pile of money at him just to get him to do something like that.
Come to us. We will let you make all the games. We love you.
Well, I mean, Advanced Warfare, Ben played it. It's basically a Metal Gear game. It's basically a Call of Duty that tried to be a Metal Gear game, to the point where they got Harry Gregson Williams to do the score. So...
It didn't work out for them.
But maybe if they hired Kojima...
Yeah. To hurt the creator, the real creator with the vision and the soul behind the game, I think that's foolish. Boycott the Metal Gear games that come after this that Konami thinks they can make on their own because they thought they could make Castlevania games without Koji Igarashi, and look how that happened. So
and nobody likes Lords of the Shadow. Woo!
Yeah.
Ground Zeroes was pretty good.
I gotta play Ground Zeroes again, just in preparation for Phantom Pain.
You gotta get all the patches.
That's right. Gotta roll around the ground at the beginning and just randomly and see what happens.
Oh, that was beautiful.
I gotta do all the side and extra ops. I haven't done those yet.
Oh, yeah, because Kojima's in Ground Zeroes.
I don't know if it'll let me do the side ops now, because when I was playing, the game crashed right when I finished it.
Oops.
It might. If not, we'll get you through it real quick.
Yeah, before it loaded the very last cutscene, the game crashed. So yeah, what are your thoughts on the temper tantrum that continues against all odds? Let us know in the comments. I want to know. I want to hear. What you tell me? Can you show me? I want to know about the Metal Gears like me.
Let's get into some stories that are out recently. Five Nights at Freddy's 4, the series that will not go away, had the fourth installment, the final chapter, set for Halloween of all dates. And then it moves up to August 8th for whatever reason.
Shall we play it on my birthday as a birthday present?
Maybe.
I think he's just running out of money.
That's my theory.
He just needs to release soon.
He needs to keep relevancy for that Hollywood movie coming up.
Oh yeah, I wonder if it's like studio pressure.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, yeah, he says it's the 1 year anniversary of the first Five Nights at Freddy's game. And look at that. 4 games in a franchise in a year.
And all of them sell like hotcakes.
That's crazy.
And he needs to take a vacation.
And then apparently a content update will come on October 31st for Halloween. Wow. That was unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch it. I'll read about all the lore. I haven't caught up with all the lore that 3 set up because I haven't played 3 much, and 3 looks hard. I haven't played 3 at all. Sorry, I haven't played any that aren't 1. I've just seen video of them being played because Pro Jared plays all of them as they come out.
And that's all you really need to see. It's a game that relishes on YouTube, of course. So.
That and I can't fucking play it because oh my god, I can't do it.
Just makes you nervous.
I have anxiety attacks.
Yeah.
He does. He can't even watch me play it.
Oh God, I freak out.
It was interesting to hear about Devil's Third this week, because I guess preview copies have been starting to go out to media. The game is supposed to come out in August of this year. And this is a game for a while that was supposed to be Nintendo published. This is the Tomonobu Itagaki action game. That was, mature rated, and it's like, yeah, it's the hardcore game. It's been in the works for a while. I mean, Devil's Third has been in the works for quite a bit now. Places like Eurogamer have been, getting their preview build and, showing bits of gameplay and, their reactions to it. Game's looking pretty terrible, which is a shame. And then, Nintendo was really wishy-washy at E3 about if they're, still publishing it. Maybe they're trying to back away because they're seeing how bad it would be. And now the fans are mad about it. And maybe Nintendo of America is, reconsidering based on that reaction. It's a weird situation like that. Mm-hmm. It's almost like they're trying to picture, like, what are all those hardcore gamers like? Oh, they like just, cover-based shooting and action and... God, some of the renders, though. You gotta watch video of it. Some of the renders in that environment.
I'm looking at these screenshots, and this looks like a Unity game.
It's ugly.
Like a cheap Unity game.
It's pretty ugly. Give something to watch on Devil's Third. I recommend the... I think it was videogamer.com. Check out that one. Their like little 6-minute Let's Play reaction of Devil's Third. It's interesting. So I think some of us may own Logitech products.
Hell yeah.
I guess they're changing their name to like Logi? L-O-G-I?
I'd assume Logi.
Logi?
Logitech.
Because tech doesn't mean anything in this day and age going forward. Like, that's unusual.
That's dumb.
Like a rebranding is a bit peculiar. Maybe there's some other kind of reason behind it, more business-wise.
Maybe
John Tech left the company and had to leave Darren Logie.
They were partners in founding of Logitech.
I don't know.
I would love to find out that the tech in Logitech was not actually referring to technology, and it was just one of the guys who founded it.
It's like, it must cost you a lot to change your branding.
Logitech probably has plenty of money.
Yeah, that's true. But then, why would you want to do that unless it's going to have some kind of benefit for you?
I don't follow Logitech's business at all, so...
They make a pretty good webcam, that's all.
They sure do.
They
that
sure do.
That C920.
Like a good webcam. I got a Logitech mouse, wireless mouse right here.
I'm using a wired Logitech mouse.
Hey.
I've been using it for 4 years. It's still one of the best mice I've ever had.
I don't know. They make good computer stuff. I don't really care what they're called.
Yep.
Long as I know who they are.
That's right. YouTube released their top 10 trending games for June. Now, this is what is determined based on the video uploads and the watch time during the month of June. Batman Arkham Knight at number 1, no surprise. With that game coming out on June 23rd. You had Lego Jurassic World, which came out, so probably you had a lot of people doing Let's Plays for that.
The Lego games are so good.
Mm-hmm. And then is E3 time. That fell in June. So, Fallout 4, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, that's interesting. Did a DLC pack drop for that?
I think so. I don't remember what it's called, but I see it pop up on the menu whenever I was playing it.
Lego Worlds?
I saw Markiplier play some of that. Markiplier? Markimoo played the Lego Worlds.
I don't even know what Lego Worlds is.
It's in alpha/beta.
Isn't it the MMO?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it actually looks like, I don't know if it is an MMO actually, but it looks like a lot of fun. It really does. I'll have to show you the video sometime, but you could build a lot of stuff a lot better than Minecraft. You're building massive things at a time, and
I'm
making
surprised.
And structures and things.
I'm surprised they did building, because did any of you see that long Twitter string of that one guy that was like, yeah, I worked on, they were making an MMO at one point where you were going to be able to just have free building with Legos.
Yeah.
And we couldn't do it because people kept building penises and there was no way to stop them.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not surprised.
And it was the whole thing was just, we couldn't do it because the technology is not in place and the amount of mods we'd need to have. And people got really creative with where they put their penises. So, it's a beautifully amazing
I don't know if it's even going to still be a thing though then, but all I can say is I did watch Markiplier play some. He loved it, and I thought it looked really fun.
Interesting. Yeah, because there's Lego Dimensions. And it's not on this list, but they...
Oh, that looks like so fun.
But they have that as well. Elder Scrolls Online at number 6. Skylanders Superchargers, number 7. Star Wars Battlefront at 8. Had a couple impressive demos.
Yes.
Of course, Final Fantasy 7 at number 9 with the big reveal trailer. And then Ben's favorite, Hear the Storm. At number 10.
It's getting pretty exciting.
Oh, boy.
Got Leoric dropping soon.
Oh, yeah. How is that game doing with the the free-to-play and all that?
It kind of makes its money in the sense of how... Well, first off, I don't think they even need to make money off this game because it's friggin' Blizzard. And Overwatch is going to net them billions of dollars. It kind of makes money in the same way League of Legends does in that there's skins. Like, League of Legends has about 120-something champions, and they've all got skins you can buy.
Yeah.
And the way it works with most of the heroes is that there's the basic skins that you get, and you get color upgrades as you do better with that hero and level them up. And then if you get a hero to level 10, which takes forever, then you can pay 10,000 gold in-game to get their master skin. You can't buy that with money. But then there's like a special skin that's usually a little wackier that you can only buy with actual money. And a lot of people love using those.
Okay.
So you got like a dwarven warrior guy, but you can get him a skin that makes him look like the king of Candyland. just goofy stuff like that. Like, yeah.
Well, it's good to see competition to League of Legends. I think that's a good thing.
It's important, yes.
And Shenmue 3 ended its Kickstarter that kicked off at E3, famously on that Sony stage. $6.3 million, making it the highest backed video game in Kickstarter's history.
I can't believe the font that they've used to say thank you on this.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Yu Suzuki is apparently very upset with how it ended up going. Like, not like, oh, we didn't get enough money and you all suck, but like, he doesn't really like how it started. He doesn't think they asked for enough money. Because apparently he came out and said, like, yeah, for a fully open world thing, we actually need about $10 million. And also, he was like, maybe we should have learned how stretch goals worked.
Yeah, that would have been a good thing to know. I mean, the whole game was kind of mired in this weird thing of, well, Sony's going to be backing a lot of it anyway. They just want to see how successful it would be. So, yeah, I think overall some of that could have been handled better. As you said, the backing stretch goal that was saying, like, it's a new record. Well, that's not really a stretch goal. You can't just say it's a new record and
We did it.
have that be a stretch goal.
So what do we get for getting it? I don't know. We did it.
We did.
Yay!
A new color palette for the girl. I don't know.
Hey.
Ben, what are you playing?
What am I playing? Video games, you silly.
Oh.
Yeah, a video game show. I would never have guessed.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm slapping my knee, you can't tell. Here's the Storm, still playing it. They changed up how quick match works because matchmaking in Heroes is terrible.
Oh dear.
It is hilariously terrible. And as someone like me that doesn't really care about getting a high rank, it's amazing to watch. In the sense that, like, once you get to actual competitive ranked play, your first 10 matches are the most important. And if you don't do well, you're really not going to get very far because of a forced 50% win rate that they try to enforce with matchmaking. And then we had the best diss I've ever seen, where this man who was very upset talked about how good he was at the game and that he was a dentist who made a lot of money and that Dark was a waitress who was not a good game. I can't even do it with a straight face. That was his diss, that he was a waitress, and he just kept coming back to it, and we just kept laughing at him.
Hopper.
There was the other. You told me about the other person that just barely talked, and when he said,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I'm
it
a
was-
dentist, she just screamed like, "Oh, I haven't brushed today."
Yeah, she was great. That was our fifth team member that played Lily. She was great. So that's Heroes. I'm playing Super Mario World because I play it every summer, and I'm trying to practice at it, and then I'll probably stream it. from
Cool.
beginning to end if I can.
I'd really like that. I haven't seen much of that full game played.
Really?
No. You see like the first level all the time.
Yeah.
You see some of the ones in the cave where you're flipping over the grates. And,
Sure.
and that's about it.
I think, yeah.
Boss battles, that's about it, yeah.
I'm pretty good at the first 3 castles, but after that I get real sloppy. Yeah, I might stream that and might stream some hacks that I've found, because I love my Super Mario World hacks, because that community will never die.
Mario Maker coming out,
I'm so
boy.
excited. Don't even I'm going to get all excited again. Kingdom Hearts 1 got 2 more levels on Waka. I am now at 18. I thought I was at 18. I was at 16.
Nice. Give a little quick refresher for those that have no idea what you do with that.
I have completely broken the Waka fight that happens on day 1 of Destiny Islands, which involves Waka throws a ball at you, his blitz ball. You can hit it back at him, and hitting it back at him gets you a technical point, which is a point of experience. And normally when you beat any of those characters on Destiny Islands, you get 1 experience point or 2 at the end of the fight, and that's all you get. So you can't level at all on Destiny Islands, and you're not supposed to. You're not at the game yet. If you don't target him, or you're far enough away while locked onto him, and you hit the blitz ball, it will sail over his head, do no damage to him, and give you a free experience point. And I've gotten to level 18 by doing that.
Not just that, but last night while he was doing it, he also broke the selfie fight. He figured it
Yeah,
out.
I finally solved the selfie fight conundrum that's been plaguing me. It's not an exact science, but her first move involves whipping you, and with a jump rope, if you deflect it at the right time, it gives you a technical point, and then the other end that was supposed to hit you of the jump rope will hit her in the head and give you another technical point.
Yep.
And usually I can't get that move to trigger, but I finally can eyeball the distance you need to be for her to only use that move and none of her others.
I managed to do it.
Yeah. Normally that's just okay, that's kind of a cool thing, but you can't kill her through technical point deflects.
No.
You can get her all the way down to the bottom of her health bar. I know this because I have scanned now. And yeah, I just kept using that, and it kept not killing her. So I finally broke the selfie fight.
Now you just got to figure out Titus and Riku, and then
God, I really don't want to
triple
try
fight.
I don't want to figure out Titus's fight. I hate him. I hate fighting him.
Bad joke incoming. Wee woo, wee woo. Hey, you want to break the selfie fight? Give her a stick.
There's
Too
my
late
knee
for you to
again.
move back to England, because I feel like you probably want to do that now.
We just swap places.
I'll send him back to England.
So yeah, that's Kingdom Hearts 1. Been playing a lot of Rocket League. Hopefully I get to play with you guys. If you guys do it next weekend. I'm not very good. Joe is already better than me.
That's bullshit.
You destroyed us.
You destroyed me.
Yeah. Nah.
It seems fun. I mean, that free PS4 game, you're kind of playing soccer and you're just riding around his vehicles to just knock the balls into the net. It reminds me a lot, almost like how when they showed the blast ball for Metroid Prime Federation Force.
I already made that joke while watching Ben play, so...
Yeah.
So, check your stuff. It's really fun, and I really want to see people that are, really good at the game. I want to see that get to high competitive gameplay levels.
That'd be crazy.
And Mega Man Soccer. We went to the Football Fairways Federation fight, sponsored by Nabisco, last week. A little small Mega Man Soccer tournament, and I cleaned house. I brought home the trophy.
Nice. I remember playing that one time.
It's a really fun game, and I'm glad that I cleaned house because I suffered a lot of losses last May at that tournament. So
Games you didn't know they had tournaments for.
Here's the thing, you didn't know they had tournaments for them because Ben and Joe Bush are the only ones doing tournaments for them.
we make up the entirety of the Mega Man Soccer community.
I have been playing I don't remember what we were recording, but Rachel made some mention of Theatrhythm Final Fantasy Curtain Call, and I was like, I have this $20 gift card that I've had for weeks that I was just letting sit on my eShop account. Let's go look at the DLC. And I bought $20 of DLC songs. And now I'm back on that bandwagon. I'm all on that. They have World Ends With You music, which is awesome.
Do they also have Chrono Trigger as well?
They do, which is also awesome. And then I picked Final Fantasy 13 back up.
Oh boy.
Still don't know what anything in this plot is at all. I'm 7 chapters into this 13 chapter game. And I still don't know what's going on.
I explained stuff to you.
Yeah, Ben, didn't you explain that it opens up at 11?
Yeah, this one turns into an MMO. For
Well,
like
I'm not
20
quite
hours.
there yet. I tweeted the other day, like, so, yeah, I'm 7 chapters into this game. I still don't know what a Lassie is. I still don't know what a Falsi is. I still don't know what anything in this game is.
But there's a young
And-
lady and a black guy.
It gives you a compendium that you can go read, kind of like what Mass Effect does.
Yeah.
Except in Mass Effect, you don't need to go read that to understand what the fuck's happening.
Yes, it's supposed to be a bonus thing.
So, I refuse to read it because I'm an old curmudgeon of a person that hates reading. And also, that shouldn't be how you show off most of your fucking plot, Square.
Well,
But
we all know from Square recently that they like to tell a lot
Oh,
and
yeah.
hardly show.
Yeah.
E3.
But, I mean, I love Lightning, and I love Saz, and I love Vanille, and Vanille and Saz is the best team ever. Hope can burn in a fire. I hope he dies at the end of the game. Oh my god, he is the worst character in any game I've ever fucking played.
Whoa, worse than Teddy?
He is, okay, on par with Teddy.
That's right, because you hate Teddy.
And then I haven't met Fang yet, and I'm holding to my theory that Snow is going to show up in Olympus Coliseum in Kingdom Hearts 3. That is my theory. He's going to be the 13 insert.
Probably.
He would fit so well in Olympus Coliseum. I don't want him to because I hate Snow, but
What?
Snow is awful. He's
Snow gets pretty good in like the
he's
later
so
chapters.
goof. Well, like he's not awful in like the Hope is terrible and I hate him way. Snow is terrible in the God, you're so goofy that I just can't take you seriously.
He gets really good later on.
That
He's
Troy
the
Baker,
goofiest.
though.
He's
Yeah,
the
that's Troy Baker.
goofiest character I've ever seen. It's awesome. I went and finally started what I have been thinking of starting forever, and that is Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix HD has a new difficulty setting called Critical Mode.
Ugh.
And I'm playing on Critical Mode.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
So,
Here's
Joe,
the
just
thing.
to recap, a couple of games you've been playing have just been because I've been playing ones
Yes.
like that. You're a
Thank
stalker.
you for destroying my life.
You're welcome.
That's not the response I wanted.
Okay.
So basically, Critical Mode is weird in that it's been super hard in other places and super easy in others because it starts you off with 52 AP and a lot of abilities that you wouldn't have normally.
Right. But everything's fucking bitching hard.
Everything does so much damage, and I'm an idiot and picked the sword when it asked me, which means that I will not learn once more until level 48. If you don't know what once more is, it's the ability that says, hey, if you get hit by an enemy's combo, it will ensure that you have 1 HP left at the end of that combo.
Huh.
So I don't have that. Best part is, if I would have picked the shield or the staff, I would have learned it at like level 28. So fuck me, I guess.
Oh dear.
Samurai Nobodies in particular were the first place where I really had this problem, where they would do one combo and I'm dead. From full health to dead in just one combo.
Damn.
Jeez.
So last night I beat Shan Yu and then stopped for the night. I will probably go back to it at the end of this. But we also learned that they give you a new ability when you play through on Critical Mode, and that is no experience.
Oh.
Prevents you from getting any experience. And obviously it's optional. And it's for people that want to do level 1 challenges. And then I mentioned to Ben, yeah, I've seen people do level 1 Kingdom Key challenges and beat the organization refights.
Jesus, that
What?
must make you so sad.
And Ben was like, I gotta go see this. And we watched them. Oh god, I can't even beat them on level 99!
Oh man, I'm gonna show you that one.
Mode. I'm doing that, and I'm gonna die. So, look forward to that, because that's not gonna end anytime soon. And that's what I've been playing.
All right, Rachel, what are you playing?
Animal Crossing and Mario Kart 7 and World of Warcraft,
Yeah.
and Kingdom Hearts. Next!
Yeah, I mentioned those ones in past ones. But yeah, at Kingdom Hearts, I mean, you just beat Deep Jungle.
Yes, and fuck the vines.
Yeah.
Fuck the vines.
I forgot how much back and forth there was.
Yeah,
And
there's
like,
a lot of back and forth.
between
It's
the
like-
camp and the treehouse. It's like, oh my god.
It's
stop.
such lazy game design.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, how can we make our game longer? Make them go back and forwards between these really long sections which actually don't need to happen. What the fuck was the fucking tree surfing supposed to be about?
Yeah, that's just like, did you want to do that with Tarzan, like in the movie?
Yeah, I did, but not for 30 seconds on a shitty video game.
No, it's a good video game. But no, it's also bad to...
Well, shitty designed so
there,
far.
there you go.
No
Yeah.
one likes Deep Jungle.
Ugh, Deep Jungle
Yeah,
was
Deep
terrible.
Jung-
And the fucking
Deep
gummy
Jungle-
sequences, the gummy ship.
Deep Jungle and Monstro both really suck. So
I've not
get
got there yet.
Oh, Monster.
that.
Yeah, that one's tough.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so like the gummy ship fights don't have to happen all the time, the sequences.
Just do it once, like in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
That's it. That's just done.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm liking the game, so like, you know, actually fighting things and getting all the monies and the experience.
Disney stuff.
Disney! I love
Disney
Disney
World.
World. And that's fun. The gameplay and how they've laid it out, you have to be an adult to want to sit through that. But some of the content that they have in the game is definitely aimed towards kids.
Yeah.
So it's a peculiar one for me, and it's taking me a while to get into it. This is just my personal opinion, of course. I'm not saying that it's a shitty game for everybody. I'm enjoying it, and I want to play more.
It's okay.
But-
You'll get to the better one soon. You'll
Yeah,
be fine.
I just... I feel like, yes, it could have been done better, but it has been done better since, and I will play that. I mean, I've seen Kingdom Hearts 2 been played before. I know some of the plot. I know how some of it plays. And I'm very much looking forward to getting to that.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so. But so far, not bad. Not bad.
I beat Batman Arkham Knight.
Woo.
And by beating that, I mean, got to a point where, like, well, my fiance is coming to America soon. Actually, she's coming tomorrow. I need to beat this game tonight. So,
Nice to know what your priorities are. Do I get the room ready? Nah, fuck
Hey,
it, play video
the
games.
logic is I can wake up.
Batman gets top billing.
The goddamn
Yeah.
Batman. And plus, the logic with that is I could wake up early and take care of all of that in
Yeah,
a few
that
hours. But, no, I mean, I tried starting some of the side missions and all that, but it got to a point where, like, fuck it, I'm powering through, and I'm, just going to only do the story missions. So when you get to a strange ending for, the game, the ending was actually pretty cool. But it was a little anticlimactic when you leave a door, like leave a building and through a door, and then they're like, oh, you have to lock up 7 of Gotham's most wanted to see more of the ending to enact this certain operation. And you're like, oh, okay. And then I also know through reading that the game has an extended ending when you get 100% of all the collectibles. So all the side missions, all the 242 Riddler trophies, and all that in the game. It's like, fucking nope. So that's one where I'm like, I'm just watching that on YouTube, and yeah, that was pretty good. But I beat my first Arkham game, so I'm happy with that.
Nice.
Never beat City?
I never beat City. I kind of stopped around Penguin area. Because I think there was a heavy reliance on all the Predator mode stuff with that, with the stealth. And I think
that's my favorite part.
You suck at stealth.
I'm not the best at it, and
Love me
I'm
some
not
stuff.
either, but I can force my way through it because it gives me a chance to scream like "surprise" and "I'm Batman."
yeah,
That's the whole fun of playing a Batman game.
there are some really bad parts, especially badly designed parts in that game. Though, I mean, Cobra tanks when you get there. If people have played the game, know about Cobra tanks. Those are awful, especially when you get to the big tank sort of boss battle. There's a boss battle called the Excavator, and it's basically a big drill, and you're in this sort of grid-like maze underground with tunnels and tunnels. And the Excavator is this big drill machine that sort of just, crawls around until it spots you in the Batmobile. And then it hauls ass at you, and you can't fuck up. And there are 3 parts in this maze where you kind of take off-shooting paths and intricate driving to basically lead this excavator to a pile of explosives. And that's the only way you can damage it. But that means that when it sees you and it's hauling ass at you and you're careening down these corridors and making these specific turns and whatnot, if it touches you once, you die.
Great.
And that's regardless on what difficulty you're playing is, because it's a big drill and it's going to wreck the Batmobile. And thank goodness it does checkpoints after each of the 3 hits. Because, man, if you had to do all of that in one sitting, that would be a real fuck this game sort of moment. Just an awful, awful boss battle design. It was awful. It's terrible. But the game was good. The Arkham Knight reveal, I guess, if you know more about the Batman sort of lineage and different stories that have occurred in the comics, it may come across more easily than some, but they do give some foreshadowing in the game. So it was still cool, even if you don't know much about all the different Batman storylines. And then there's stuff later that we can talk about once that sort of spoiler sort of thing passes. It would be something I'd like to talk about more, maybe in a superfluous or something like that, or a spoiler chat we can maybe do sometime. We'll see. I also played Pokemon Puzzle League and to an extent Puzzle Challenge as well on Game Boy Color, because I've just been getting back into that. Some of the Tetris Attack with Pokemon gameplay, it's a good way to kind of get the mind working and the reflex going a little bit in the morning. It's nice. Zoop is a game on Super Nintendo. I think I'm going to try to Let's Play for that, for the SMYN Network channel, because that'll be a good little one-off. It's a weird game. It's one that's like, I had a ROM for it. I mean, what? I totally bought the game on Super Nintendo legally. The game is called Zoop. It looks interesting. This looks weird. Let's try it. And it was a different game. I'll give it a play for you guys. Then I tried Mario Tennis Power Tour today. That's the one on Game Boy Advance. So I'm like, I just want to play something like Mario Power Tennis, or Mario Tennis. Just get me into it. I want to play Mario. Well, the game starts, and it's like this freaking story RPG almost.
I couldn't make it to the tennis part.
I know. I'm like, I'm getting 20 minutes, and I'm like, why are we still wandering around a town? And there's talk about, well, these tennis players in masks beat our best player, but shh. Like,
can't find the tennis.
I think what happened is, Camelot got the rights to some tennis RPG story thing. Because even, in the opening sequence, they're like, the beginners, the advanced, and then the varsity. It's like, what the fuck are all these human anime characters doing? Like, where's all the Mario? And then they're like, intercuts with Mario characters. Like, what?
It's really weird.
So I think they, got access to some sort of tennis game with a story, and then they're like, let's see how we can cram in Mario characters in the most obscure way possible. Yeah, I did not get any tennis. And they're just like, what?
Yeah, nope.
What happened? Games that are out recently, as mentioned before, Rocket League, out for free this month for PlayStation Plus owners. Go check that out. God of War 3 Remastered. A game that I don't think needed a remaster at all.
Nope.
But it
That money!
Yeah, money.
Gotta get that money.
It was interesting to read, different articles about, kind of looking back on that game and just, analyzing the character of Kratos in that game in particular. And it's like, I guess that's true. But, if people are just jumping into God of War 3 without playing the first two, I think you're missing the point entirely.
God of War 3 is still the only game in the series I've played. Got to Hades. That's as far as I got.
Oh, okay, there you go. No, it's a good game, and not much was added for this remaster, but it apparently looks good and runs well. Unlike Prototype Biohazard Bundle, which that got stealth released on Xbox One.
Yeah, nobody knew about it.
How the hell does that happen?
Because the latest version, the latest console versions of it, are actually not as good as playing it on, say, a PS3.
Yeah, how does the game run slower on new tech than its original version?
We don't know what to do with ourselves or games.
I mean, they weren't the best games in general. I mean, Prototype came out at the same time as Infamous. The first versions of those games. And Infamous, a clearly superior game.
I still like the way that Yahtzee settled that argument.
Oh, that was a great one.
If you want to learn about it, go look it up. It's pretty funny what he did.
Yeah.
Cross-dressing is involved.
Yay! I love cross-dressing.
And then I guess Rory McIlroy PGA Tour is out, but who gives a fuck? I mean, Maybe they're shooting golf balls over battleships that are crashing into the fairways now. I don't care. I don't know.
Make it more interesting. Make it so you're playing golf in space against aliens, and your target, it's a button that disarms a bomb which could blow up the Earth. If you don't actually hit it, then you fucked everybody over, and you're the only surviving human being.
I don't think that would go over well with
A golf simulation
fan.
game.
Oh, it'd be great! Get Tiger Woods to play as the main, protagonist, and, whatever.
Yeah, and then he'll go womanize with all the female astronauts
Exactly!
there. Yeah.
No, there won't be any other astronauts. It's just aliens. The aliens have abducted him, and they've got to play golf, otherwise everyone else is going to die.
Then Tiger Woods will soup off all the female aliens.
Yeah.
YouTube video recommendations. I've probably recommended this one before, but coming off the heels of Evo, you got to see the video "If Smash Were Anime Hype Intro 2015."
That was quite amusing when you were showing me that.
That's great. They take I think it's the first ending from Hunter x Hunter, and they put it with animation and clips of Smash Brothers, and they make Leffen the villain. They do a cut of the 5 gods of Melee, like animated with their characters, and then like Leffen's face like shows up through a dissolve as if you were like the big bad villain watching over everyone.
That's awesome.
You gotta watch it. It's a great video. I've probably recommended on the show before, but it's worth a watch again, especially coming off of Evo.
Go for it. I would recommend to watch a couple of Jed and Marbles videos, and they are how to mildly annoy your dogs and how to mildly annoy your dogs too. I love dogs.
Mm-hmm.
They're cute. I think at the time of making these, she only had 2.
Yes.
But they're pretty amusing, just having some occasional fuckery with your dogs. And by fuckery, I mean you're fuckering around with them, not actually fucking them.
Yeah.
We're not
big
promoting
difference
bestiality
there.
here.
Big difference there.
Yeah, a bit.
One's illegal.
Yeah. One's illegal, and one's frowned upon. Try and guess which one she does. Yeah, I'd recommend go watching that. It's good for a little laugh.
They're fun.
Yeah, especially when you hear Marbles, the listless dog, how he barks.
There's a little rat terrier, I think. Yeah.
Kind of noise. It was weird.
Mine is a Game Grumps animated that came out this week. That is my new favorite Game Grumps animated because it was made by Barry. And Barry, of course, has access to the commentary without the game audio, which makes this one. It's called Deserted Island, and it takes some of the Sonic Boom commentary when they were super tired and had just gotten back from Japan and were super jet-lagged and all that. And it's my new favorite Game Grumps animated, so check that out. It's great.
My YouTube recommendation is from the podcast Super Ego. I don't actually listen to the podcast, but I like some of their little skits that they do. And they did one of H.R. Giger at the Drive Thru. I think the Drive Thru place is just called Burger Sandwich. And H.R. Giger being the surrealist painter that came up with all the hauntingly beautiful sci-fi, terrifying... It's
penis
hard to
monsters.
Yeah, penis monsters.
Alien took a lot of inspiration from Chuck Yeager. Yeah,
I think he was credited for the design of the alien.
probably.
Alien.
Yeah,
Probably. I think he was.
Yeah, and like Prometheus and other stuff like that. Just very, very spooky, grotesque things in a sci-fi nature. And they put him through the drive-thru, or they do a sketch of like, what if he was at the drive-thru, and it was before he died, so it's still in good taste. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
well, it's a good episode to kind of cover our bases, show where we're at before Rachel and I get married, before Joe comes over here. Ben, I'm really sorry you can't come. That sucks.
Don't worry, Ben. I'll make him look really pretty for you and text you over a picture.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Why are you encouraging this?
Makeup.
Joe, you're gonna be the most prettiest bearded lady in the world.
I don't want to be a bearded lady. I don't want to be a pirate.
But don't you want to be beautiful?
Maybe.
So it's settled then. Go check out at showmeyournews.com. We'll have a twitch.tv/SMYN network for the 23rd through the 26th. Have lots of streaming content there for you. And we're going to go get married.
Okay.
So.
Okay, bye.
Oh, like
gonna be
right
fun.
now?
Yeah, right
Oh,
now.
Right now.
damn.
Hop skiddly do. And on that bombshell.
Well,
It is time to end. With that, I am Peter.
I am Rachel.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Ben.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
We're out.
Find out more about this show and other podcasts at the Show Me Your News Network, where you can embrace your inner nerd over at showmeyournews.com. Fans can interact with other SMYNjas at the friendliest community on the net at showmeyournews.com/forum. Show me your news! Well, we gotta get it done. We got to do it. Just do it.
What are you waiting for? Fuck off.
What are you waiting for? Do it.
That song's about sex.
Yeah.
Peter.
Yeah.
Peter. Peter.
Yes.
This sounds really wrong.
Yes.
How can I help you?
Help me, Joe.
It's like the deep radio voice. RTM radio.
Welcome to another morning of sensual waking you up.
All part of the Show Me Your News Network. We're gonna play an hour of moans and cum noises.
Time for our famous porn audio segment.
Not in that one, no!
So you audiophiliacs out there, get your fill.
Hold on, let me do this. Hold on. It's amazing what you can do with your cheek, isn't it?
That could be taken two ways. Anyways.
I was doing it as innocent as I could way, because it was not really portraying anything innocent, so I can't call it completely innocent. There you go.
It just all looked like Sarah Mitt's cheeks.
I love you, Sarah.
Really?
Ow. I hurt your cheeks after a while, though.
Soaked us on it.
Oh god, this is just innuendos everywhere. Help! What have I done? What have I created?
What are you waiting for?
Damn it! I will not hit your dick, but I will poke you.